Major General Sudhakar Jee, who's joining me live on the broadcast, who's a senior defense expert. And in fact, Major General Sudhakar Jee, appreciate you joining me live on the broadcast. And as we have been looking at what exactly the Simla Agreement and now the suspension of the Indus Water Treaty is from the Indian side. These are the initial steps that India, after the CCS review meeting, has decided upon. But there are experts weighing in with their opinion that the Indus Water Treaty suspension will not be applicable on a logical and a legal front. Is there a confusion on that end? Because it is a diplomatical stand. But as diplomatic as it is, it could also be viewed by many as an immediate emotional response from the Indian side of showing their diplomatic prowess rather than seeing the impact on the ground as far as their ties and trade is concerned with Pakistan.
Absolutely. Simran, good morning. Thank you for getting me to your morning show. You made a very relevant point. You see, it needs to be understood in the context of continuous export of terror across the border by Pakistan, despite all efforts from India's side to put an end to it. And when you talk about the Indus Water Treaty, when I was a major in the army, I'm a retired man now. Since then, with limited understanding, we used to do research for Staff College. I have been recommending why India is so magnanimous. I did my Staff College in the peak of terrorism in J&K, 95. And for everything, you have given back 93,000 prisoners. You have made a agreement with them, Simla Agreement, supposed to be a golden milestone. When you go deeper into the issue, it is a defunct agreement, and it has been called bluff by none other than Bhutto. When he went back to Pakistan, you know what happened. So what I'm saying is, if there are three substantive takeaways, you have covered them very adequately. None of them, one is CFL, the ceasefire line becoming line of control. Has it made any difference? A line of control is a line which is respected by the relevant stakeholders. Has Pakistan respected? If it is respected, why is it carrying out transport terrorist activities? Why are they coming across the LOC? With great difficulty again, there has been ceasefire violations have been put to an end with some kind of an understanding, although it took place once in 2003. Thereafter, they off and on, they have been breaking it frequently. In 2021 February, both the countries, they sat down and we went in for an agreement. And since then, look at the number of the bat attack, number of infiltration taking place, and number of terrorist attempts coming from other direction as well. So there is also drug menace. Anyway, I would like to divert the issue. The line of control does not hold any relevance as on today, since past, I would say, since 1972, as far as my understanding goes. Now come to the second issue. They wanted 93 prisoners of war, safe and secure, be handed over back to Pakistan. That was given extra generosity by India without any tangible gain. After such a, I would say, for 1,000 years or more than 1,000 years, if at all India as a nation state has to feel proud of that, yes, we have hands down, we have become victorious, then it was the liberation of Bangladesh, that is 1971, such a successful, it is a case study before the world. So third thing is that is the bilateral relationship. Now, does bilateral relations or dialogue have any meaning in today's world? Has Pakistan maintained its standard as a nation state? Will anyone ever substantively and meaningfully ever support Pakistan on these lines? So therefore, what I'm coming to is, even if it is revoked, if Pakistan has done it, fine, I'm very happy it has done it. And it will give us a scope that the line of control should be taken advantage of. I know that Pakistan knows, if at all some action has to take place, the action from India, so I'm talking about the kinetic action. It will take place, most suitable ground is the line of control, which is extending over 740 kilometers. And we are at a very dominating heights, not all over, but majorly I would say we are in a commanding height, and the terrain friction is in our favor to large an extent, and we dominate them by observation and fire. Why don't we think in terms of pushing the line off the line of control further west? Let's say 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, this 740 kilometers, carry out. I'm not saying about punitive offensive action. I'm saying about a comprehensive strategic course of action which will have a mix of kinetic and non-kinetic. Non-kinetic, Indus is a masterstroke. I have been recommending since 95, Indus Treaty should be revoked as early as possible. The days of magnanimity to be shown to Pakistan is over. We need to give them. The only counterpoint which comes up is India as a nation is with a high credibility. And when you actually pull back from the Indus Water Treaty, what it matters is that it irrigates almost, in the open media it says 81%, but I have studied, it is more than 90% of the arable land of Punjab, where you have three different major crops. One is the long rice. This long rice quality is it is produced of that scent and size only in Punjab, Pakistan. They keep exporting it to Dubai and like-minded countries of Pakistan. Second is the cotton. Cotton is of a special variety. So there may not be any comparable quality, but there are better quality, I would say, with country like India, with country like USA, and there are many other. Central Asian Republic also have. So China also has got cotton producing in Xinjiang province. So there are many countries. Third thing is the sugar. These are the three things which will absolutely come to a standstill. It will drive up. It is going to affect the farmers, the people who are at the grassroots. Their livelihood is going to be affected, which will go against the basic philosophy of magnanimity and Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. But for a country like Pakistan, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam doesn't apply.
Major General Sudhakar Jee, while I completely understand how, in fact, India's revoking of the Indus Water Treaty is needful, but at the same time, when Pakistan continues to be in complete panic, while India took several stern measures, including the suspension of this treaty, Pakistan showed and responded by cancelling the visas to the Indian nationals and suspending the cross-border transit from India. It also said that Islamabad is keeping this Simla Agreement in abeyance. Now, how do you view this going to be a very critical escalation in the India-Pakistan tensions? India continues to do it with its own ability and with also the support being a complete stronghold ally with even the US. What does Pakistan have?
Pakistan, you see, these small little steps are gimmicks. Pakistan doesn't have any substantive countermeasure to counter the revocation of Indus Water Treaty by India. It's no substantive countermeasure. Whatever steps they are taking, it is meaningless. Closing the airspace, when Pakistan doesn't have air defense capability, what does the closing the airspace mean? Today, the new warfare has started, drone warfare. We have the wherewithal, stand-up attacks, we have missiles, we have hypersonic missiles, we have drones available with us, we have Predator. It can skip the radar cone of observation, go below the radar's observation profile, and go and loiter over the target, hit the target and come back. So airspace, only thing it is going to impact is, yes, some of the international flights, they do fly over Pakistan. Well, it is their loss. They will be losing that much of revenue. Now, coming to the point regarding Indus Water Treaty also had been tabled and deliberated for Balakot attack, by the way. There were non-kinetic measures. But the country was putting so much of pressure from the countrymen that something substantive kinetic had to be given and visible. So therefore, Balakot went through. Now, I think the government of India, to the best of my understanding, has taken a very good course of action. It's a non-kinetic measure. Gradually, it must adopt a sustainable. It is not that one Balakot and over. No. It has to follow the principle of Israel, which is called as mow the grass. Every house, if a house has got a lawn, unless you take out the weeds and unless you mow the grass, the lawn will not look like the lawn. Therefore, to bring some kind of a stoppage to terrorism, every 15, if not 15, every month or once in a quarter, we must continue to hit the objectives hard so that at least if not change in attitude of Pakistan, there is some slowdown some kind of a reprieve from the terrorist activities. And next point I have is, selection of target. Simran, selection of target should become a central objective as of now when the manthan is going on. That is very, very crucial and important. To my mind, I feel that cyber, electromagnetic, naval resources, Air Force aerial resources, drone, that is the space resources, as also we should deliberate on the ground offensive with boots on ground, which should be taken as a last measure. Now, apart from this, Simran, we have lost out a lot of things. Hajipir Pass. Hajipir Pass is such a massive structure. We captured it, we gave it back to Pakistan on a platter. How long are you going to negotiate and give it back to the Pakistan after having lost so many lives of our soldiers? So I think all the routes of infiltration coming across the line of control, they all converge, to my understanding, around Hajipir or to Hajipir. From there, one goes towards Poonch and Rajouri. From there, something comes to Kupwara and Baramulla. From there, we have something coming towards the Rajdan Pass. The entire LOC is actually pivoted by the massive feature, Hajipir Pass, which we had taken twice and given them back to Pakistan. Why doesn't India not negotiate, demand, and also plan to take this back, shift the LOC line westwards towards Pakistan gradually and systematically over a protracted war? And this conflict is not going to end. The Pakistan map will cease to exist on the face of earth. As a soldier, I am saying, as a retired general, and if India takes only short-term measures, there will be no end to terrorism. I have carried out a research. I have written a paper on proxy war. Proxy war unleashed.
Well, all right, Major General Sudhakar Jee, because of the shortage of time, I will have to, in fact, make this conversation